love the way it feels to be a hater. Something so sweet about.
Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How would they know? How would they know?
You've been hiding in plain sight and appeared. Oh, I know. Loving you once only feels wrong. I need you. I always knew I'd find you to be here. It's just like ice, iced coffee in the morning. Wakes me up the way I want it. Such a rush, I'm tripping and I'm falling. Got my sunshine pouring like an ice, iced coffee in the morning.
You became a stranger, and without you believing me.
Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like bing bop boom 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 bop bam. 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 Bing bop boom boom bing bop boom boom bing bop boom 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 bop bam.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the
Who are you playing with, sweetie?
Amanda.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Amanda. I'm 6.
If it's a question of my heart, you got it. It don't belong to anyone but you.
You're 25 years old. You get drunk off half a beer, and you read the Harry Potter series in your spare time.
A lot of adults read those books.
Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall. 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 Hello, I'm Shelley Duvall.
A lot of people have been asking, how do I make the baby ferrets look like they're filled with soup and weighted? Well, let me tell you. I use poly pellets from the same brand that makes the polyfill a lot of people use. They look like this. They're really tiny. And then when I'm at about this point, I stuff the legs a tiny bit with polyfill, and then I put the polyfill in a nylon sock just so the beads don't fall out since this yarn is stretchy. It probably wouldn't fall out anyway, but I just want to be safe. These dudes are sold out on my shop right now, but you can sign up for an email notification on the listing for these guys, and I will email you when I restock them. And I implore everybody to read the caption before commenting what yarn or who the pattern creator is or if I'm selling them. Please just read the caption on TikToks. Please. Please. Okay, thank you guys.
Everything I crocheted this week. Mushroom Pops Expert. Baby Bunnies Expert. Octos X14. Turtles X5. Axolotls Expert. Chubby Frogs X5. Mini Baby Chicks X4. Easter Chicks X4. Bees X2. Bunnies X2. Ear. Tigger. Roo. Shrek. Scrunchies X6. Goose sneak peek only because it's in the testing phase.
Everything I crocheted for my market. Big and little grape cows. Big and little cherry blossom cows. Big and little watermelon cows. Big and little dragon fruit cows. Big and little strawberry cows. Big and little chocolate strawberry cows. Big and little blackberry cows. Big and little blueberry cows. Big and little apple cows. Big and little pear cows. Big and little peach cows. Big and little banana cows. Bunny in a pink frog costume. Bunny in a frog costume. Bunny in a bear costume. Bunny in a frog balaclava. Lamb. Monkey in a banana onesie. Monkey in a candy heart onesie. Monkey in a cherry onesie. Tulip ducky. Girly ducky. Festival ready mallard duck. Mushroom ducky. Cozy penguin. Purple penguin. Hiker mallard duck. Molly from Animal Crossing. Strawberry ducky. Purple ducky. Available on my Etsy. Things I've crocheted recently. Elephant. Heart stingrays. Squid. Leggy frogs. Blue sweet. PMO. 3 mushies. Clam. Blue worm. Frog. Baby bear. For fishies. Flower frog. Miffy. Bunny. Everything I crocheted this week. Mini chocolate chip cookie dragon. Mini kiwi dragon. Mini strawberry dragon. Stitch. Loaf Cats X8. Pikachu. Snorlax. Rear view mirror hangers X5. Chickens X3. Mini turtles X3. Ducks in hats X7. Frogs X7. Mushroom Pops X for mallards X3. Seals X3 Stingray X2. Possum.
What in the world are you crocheting? Everyone around me keeps asking that question. I mean, I can see why. A little bend here and a little bend there. Do you see it now? Just one final touch and ta-da! We have a pretzel.
Plushies I crocheted for my next restock. Valentine's Day edition. Mushroom Bunny. Mini Mushroom Bunny. Lemon Cow. Orange Cow. Valentine's Cow. Chocolate-covered strawberries. Chunky Bee. Pink Bee. Valentine's Bee. Mini Bees. Orange creamsicle axolotl. Pink dino. Winnie the Pooh. Heart buddies. Chicken nugget. Pickle. Fried egg. Peas in a pod. Strawberry turtle. Which one would you pick?
Making crochet plushie patterns based off of every letter in the alphabet, part 1. Today's letter is A. So we're gonna make an antelope. Don't be thinking about stealing my idea. So this is where I should have turned around and stopped, because I had to make this head 3 times over and it was not coming out the way I want. Like, look. No, and I thought I had it here and I did not. Look at that. Now this is where things start to get better. I got the head pattern down and I was like, okay, I like it. And now it's looking real cute. And look at all that. Ooh. And it's, oh my gosh. It's so pretty. It came out exactly how I wanted it to. Okay, bye-bye.
I have a problem. I have way too much of this yarn. It's bad. I went through a phase where I thought this yarn from the Dollar Tree was the best thing ever, and I bought a lot of it. And now I'm on a mission to use all of this up.
It's pretty safe to say I am not allowed to buy yarn at the Dollar Tree anymore. Somebody please take my credit card away. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Crafting and Not Stashing, the series where I'm actually using my craft supplies instead of letting them sit in a drawer. I've been on this mini kick lately to use up this yarn, and today I wanted to make a super cute little flower pillow, although it turned into a flower plushie because I did not realize that my yarn was a lot thinner than this pattern called for. This pattern is by Wonder Crochet, and I'll tag them down below. And if you have any ideas or pattern recommendations for things that I can make to use up this yarn, please let me know. But after working on this for a while on a live stream, I was able to finish it and attach all of the petals, and after finishing the middle, here is what we ended up with. We've got one side that can just be a plain flower, or flip it over for a super cute face. I decided to embroider a mouth and add some safety eyes. It's so squishy and so soft, and it came out so cute.
Hi guys, I'm showing you this right now because I just showed it to my boyfriend on FaceTime and he didn't have much of a reaction, but he was kind of busy at the same time, so it's not that deep. I still love you, Jacob, if you're watching this. However, I do need validation, so here she is. I am absolutely obsessed with her. Here's the regular size for comparison, and for comparison to a human, I'm 5'2" for reference. I hope that helps. If any of you were thinking about making one of these, totally do it. Actually, let me show you what I used. I used about 760 grams of fluffy chenille by Loops and Threads. I used a 25mm hook because that's what the yarn recommended. For the blush and mouth, I used Sweet Snuggles. For the eyes, I believe they're 30mm. I could be wrong though, it's just the biggest I had. And then to stop them from falling into the plushie, I used this plastic grate stuff. It was like $2 from Michael's. Then, of course, it's stuffed a whole bunch with some polyfill, and it only took me a little less than an hour. So, there you go.
And remember, with a little rusties and an insane amount of luck, you too can look like me. Ka-chow.
I found the cutest DIY workshop, and it's kind of like a make-your-own Squishmallow experience, but better, like Build-A-Bear, but truly from scratch. You start by choosing your animal and color. There's a ton of options. Then you sit at this really cool machine I've never seen before. It makes knitting super easy, like beyond beginner-friendly. You cast on, crank it to spin until this number hits 50. At this point, your plushie looks kind of like a hat. It's now time to stuff. This part surprisingly takes the longest because you want to add a little at a time so it doesn't get lumpy. You can also roll it to adjust the shape. Once you're done, the staff works some magic, and it's time to add the eyes, nose, and ears. You do some actual knitting at this step. This is how my plushie turned out, super soft and huggable, just like Mandu, who was my inspo. You can also buy crocheted accessories here, but this workshop is perfect for your inner child. Is Plashumi in Pasadena, more in caption.
Everything I crocheted this week. Mini watermelon dragon. Mini blue raspberry dragon. Mini peach dragon. Mini strawberry dragon. Mini cherry dragon. Mini grape dragon. Mini dragon fruit dragon. Mini lemon dragon. Possum weighted. Duck weighted. Hummingbird. Baby seals X4. Axolotls X5. Pandas X3. Mushrooms X3. Frogs X2. Everything I crocheted for my market. Strawberry cows, chocolate-covered strawberry cows, lemon and lime cows, grape cows, watermelon cows, cherry cows, peach cows, blueberry cows, banana cows, apple cows, pear cows, otters, more otters, dressed-up mallard duck, green triceratops, orange triceratops, blue triceratops, rainbow triceratops, flower dinosaur, sun and moon dinos, rainbow brontosaurus, pink brontosaurus, blueberry stegosaurus, purple stegosaurus, rainbow stegosaurus, bunny in a bear costume, bunny in a frog costume, monkey in a purple onesie, big Highland strawberry cows, jumbo pink pony, donkey, zebras, unicorns, horse cowboys, Pegasus. Available on my Etsy.
A lot of people have been asking, how do I make the baby ferrets look like they're filled with soup and weighted? Well, let me tell you. I use poly pellets from the same brand that makes the polyfill a lot of people use. They look like this. They're really tiny. And then when I'm at about this point, I stuff the legs a tiny bit with polyfill, and then I put the polyfill in a nylon sock just so the beads don't fall out since this yarn is stretchy. It probably wouldn't fall out anyway, but I just want to be safe. These dudes are sold out on my shop right now, but you can sign up for an email notification on the listing for these guys, and I will email you when I restock them. And I implore everybody to read the caption before commenting what yarn or who the pattern creator is or if I'm selling them. Please just read the caption on TikToks. Please. Please. Okay, thank you guys.
I have a problem. I have way too much of this yarn. It's bad. I went through a phase where I thought this yarn from the Dollar Tree was the best thing ever, and I bought a lot of it. And now I'm on a mission to use all of this up.
It's pretty safe to say I am not allowed to buy yarn at the Dollar Tree anymore. Somebody please take my credit card away. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Crafting Not Stashing, the series where I am actually using my craft supplies instead of letting them sit in a drawer. I've been on this mini kick lately to use up this yarn, and today I wanted to make a super cute little flower pillow, although it turned into a flower plushie because I did not realize that my yarn was a lot thinner than this pattern called for. This pattern is by Wonder Crochet, and I'll tag them down below. And if you have any ideas or pattern recommendations for things that I can make to use up this yarn, please let me know. But after working on this for a while on a live stream, I was able to finish it and attach all of the petals, and after finishing the middle, here is what we ended up with. We've got one side that can just be a plain flower, or flip it over for a super cute face. I decided to embroider a mouth and add some safety eyes. It's so squishy and so soft, and it came out so cute.
Last part of me crocheting a giant caterpillar, and she was getting so big that I actually needed to sit on a stool to be able to finish that last segment. And yes, I was using my feet to rotate this huge thing. I decided not to add legs to this last segment to make it different from all the other ones. I wanted it to be the caterpillar's tail. At this point, I only had a few grams left of this color, and I needed to receive my premier yarn's order to finish it. In the meantime, I stuffed it as much as I could, and I got so excited seeing how big she would be. 2 days later, I finally received my yarn order and was ready to close this tail up. I really thought that I would only have to work on it for 1 more hour or so, but I ended up making the tail too big, and I decided to frog it all the way back down to where I started that new yarn ball. All in all, I probably lost 2 hours making the tail twice, but there was no way that I wouldn't finish it the same day because my daughter was expecting me to be done when she would come back from the daycare that day. And this technique that I found while we were making the tail was just the best. Instead of rotating the caterpillar, I would walk around her. And now are you ready, guys? This was one happy little girl. Please leave all your questions in the comments below, and I'll make a Q&A video in a few days. And let me know if you want to see more giant projects like this. Thanks for watching! About 3 or 4 months ago, I had this crazy idea of doing my biggest plushie ever, and I just want to take you along with me. So here I'm starting with the head, and at this point maybe you want to know what I'm working on. So I'm working on the giant caterpillar. So here I'm doing the antennas and taking some notes for a future pattern. And at this point, I just took a long 3 months break before working on it again. And then the motivation came back and I had so much fun working on it. I was actually really happy to see that I could use my 50mm safety eyes that I bought so long ago, but I could finally use them and they look so cute. And to secure them, I just placed them in between two safety eye jig and I pushed really hard until they were secured. I could have also used crocheted eyes that I could have sewn onto, but I really wanted to keep this project as low-sew as possible. I also had two other goals in mind while working on that project. I wanted it to be as big as a body pillow, and also I wanted to use as much yarn that I had in my stash at this point. So I figured that if I was changing color for every body part, that would mean that I would just need to buy one more skein to complete this project. At this point, I wanted to stuff the head just to give it some shape, but I also realized that I would be running out of stuffing really soon. So I sent a little message to Fairfield and they kindly accepted to ship a 10-pound box polyfill. In the meantime, I just decided to keep working on the body and I figured that I could stuff it later on. With that, I'll see you in 2 days for part 2.
Reasons why your crochet plushies don't look good, stuffing edition. Reason number 1 is you're not closing your project enough before you start stuffing. I wait until I have at least 18 single crochet in the round before I start to stuff. Otherwise, the stuffing will just keep falling out and you won't get anywhere. Reason number 2, you're not breaking up your stuffing before you put it in your project. If you just put that huge clump of stuffing in there, you will have lumps and bumps everywhere and you will not have a smooth finish. Next, you're not stuffing all the way down to the bottom. You're just kind of putting the stuffing in there and hoping it finds its way to the bottom. You need to stuff it to the bottom. See how that has a nice layer of stuffing across the bottom, and then you build on that. Next reason, you're not putting enough stuffing in. You need to stuff that bad boy so full, not full that you see gaps in your stitches, but like solid. See how squishy that is? We do not want our stuffy to be morphed by a 2-year-old with grubby little hands. We want it to stay how it was intended to stay. Reason number, I've lost count. You're not closing your project and then stuffing more. As you stuff, you need to be closing it. So once you get a good base there, you need to close it the next round, and then you need to put more stuffing in. Next reason, you're using your eyes and not your hands. You need to feel for those dips in stuffing as opposed to looking for them. So here you see me running my hands over the project until I feel a lull or a depression in the plushie, and then I go and I put more stuffing there. Next reason, you are not stuffing after your last row. Once you finish the last row, you still need to be putting stuffing in that bad boy, or else you're gonna have a flat back and you want to have a nice rounded finish. I'm sorry for shitting on you for the last 2 minutes, but now look, you know how to stuff.